Well, his playing has been described as strangely haunting, seductive, and the sound of meditative beauty.
Riley Lee is the co-founder of Taiko ensemble Taikoz, and he's the first non-Japanese person to attain Grand Master rank in shakuhachi. Let's take a look.
Well, Taikoz is currently in the middle of a major national concert tour, but Riley has taken some time out of his busy schedule to tell us a little bit more about this instrument and its music. Now, you're a Grand Master. Just explain to us what that means.
Well, the Japanese word is Dai Shihan, which really translates as big teacher. Grandmaster sounds so much better, but actually it implies as much, or if not more, a sense of responsibility than or obligation than accomplishment or honor. The idea is that as a recipient, I have the skills, the necessary knowledge to pass on the tradition. And now I must. It is my responsibility to continue that tradition.
Now, this is pretty unusual because you are not Japanese, obviously.
Yes, that's right. In fact, it's interesting that I'm here today right after your previous guest because my father's Chinese and my mother's is American from Irish-English descent, and yet I play this Japanese instrument. It just shows you art. That's what makes the world run very smoothly.
Indeed. Now, you've also learnt, I understand you've learnt this music, Taiko, differently to traditional Japanese ways of learning it, which I gather they would learn it by ear. How have you learnt it?
Well, no, we do learn it by ear as well. I mean, music, you have to learn by ear. Perhaps what you're alluding to is our particular taiko group, Taikoz, is different from many of the traditional taiko groups in Japan in that not only do we not limit ourselves to one single type of taiko drumming, but we are all trained musicians in the sense that we can read staff notation. Now, staff notation is not the music, it's the same thing as the story is not the printed page, but it allows musicians who know how to read it to learn music much more quickly than if they only relied on memorizing it with their ears. So it allows us to become perhaps more versatile than many other groups.
Now, you've also had to overcome some significant adversity. You were in a car accident.
Yes, I was.
How did you manage to regain your fitness, and did the music help?
I ran the Sydney Marathon a month before I was hit walking down a footpath in Brisbane, just hit by a car. And I think that not only my physical training, but also my musicianship allowed me to realize that you don't gain things instantly. So the difference between training for a marathon and training to, for example, get my strength enough to walk out of the bed to go to the toilet for the first time, having been on my back for 2 months, is really the same sort of, it takes the same sort of training, just the goals are slightly different. But you have to do it step by step, one day at a time. And that's true with learning music too.
I mean, you mentioned you're a marathon runner. Is that integral to how you learn? Is it part of the process? You're not alone in being a marathon runner, are you, among those who play this music?
I joined a group, in fact, the group that Taikoz is now touring with, the original group, it's from Japan called Kodo. The group that I joined is their predecessor. And we all had to run marathons. That's when I kind of got into
Part of the training.
Part of the training. The idea being that the music, in fact, all of the arts in Japan, is inspired by nature. We're all urban kids. How do you instill nature, kind of a crash course in nature? Well, you go out and run in it, no matter what the weather is, just every day you're out there. And I just fell in love with the running.
Well, enough talk. I think you better show us how it sounds.
Okay.
Riley Lee, thanks so much.
Thank you.